the Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Let's not waste no more time. Let's get right to it. So, when you're in the sad state that the NBA is today, the NBA today is just a sad case. Adam Silver is a sad case. LeBron James, just a sad case as well. Okay. And so, when you are the sad case that the NBA is today, okay, sometimes or oftentimes, you it's sort of the gift that keeps on giving. What do I mean when I say that? Okay, when you are as bad as the NBA is in terms of the product, the marketing, whatnot. Okay, when you're as bad as the NBA is, sometimes it's a gift that keeps on giving. And I've referred to the NBA as the NBHA, the National Bitches and Hoes Association. Okay, when the NBA was an NBA, a real man's game. Okay, so Charles Barkley recently had this to say on players in the NBA today, and let's just say again, when you're in the sad state of affairs that the NBA is, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Okay, so Charles Barkley said, Magic and Bird saved the league. Okay, which he did, but you got to remember something. Taking it back to 1979 when Bird and Magic first came in, the league was seen as too black. There was a lot of drug use going on. Y'all probably don't know this, but when the New York Knicks had their first all-black team, the New York Knicks had their first all-black team, I believe, in 1980. I believe they had their first all-black team, and there were people who referred to the New York Knicks as a New York Ends. Okay, the New York Knickerbockers. Okay, the New York Knickerbockers. No, they referred to the Knicks all-black team as the New York Knickerbockers. Okay, so that's where the state of the NBA was: too black, drug use, bad product on the floor. And I think it was put best by Earl Monroe when he said there are so many great players in the league that all of them kind of nullify each other out. And what people want to come out and see is total teamwork. And that's something that's really missing in the game now. That's what Earl Monroe said. Okay. So Charles Barkley said this on a podcast recently. Okay. He said, before Magic and Bird came along, there were a bunch of guys in the NBA who were thugs and druggies. Charles Barkley thinks today's NBA players are only in the NBA for the sake of money instead of the goal of being great at the sport. Okay. Barkley also said he wishes that today's NBA players were a lot more appreciative of what Magic and Bird did. Barkley saying, those guys saved the NBA. The NBA was too black, bunch of thugs. Magic and Bird. When I see Magic and Bird, I thank them. Because everyone thinks the NBA is always like when you come in, you're going to make a ton of money. No. When I got to the Philadelphia 76ers in 85, the average salary was $250,000. That's $250 like I say. I told you 3-4 years later. I can't remember exactly when I saw the first guy make $1 million. Okay. And so, Barkley also said, the legends of the game, the guys going all the way back to George Mikan, played for the love of the game. not money. Okay. Barkley also said, these guys are lucky and blessed. They can't play basketball. They can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. That's how many games you are averaging during the NBA season. You're averaging about 3 to 4 games a week during the NBA season. I wonder if some of these guys are born into money, but they're not great players. Let's be real. Okay. He also said, money, with the money the players are making today, impact their decision-making process. Players will rather load manage and preserve themselves instead of competing on a daily basis in order to extend their careers and make more money. In other words, today's players are not honoring Bird or Magic. Don't have any appreciation for what Magic and Bird did. Okay. So Barkley said players are in it for the sake of the money and not to get hit better, which I agree with. Okay, because look at the players back in the day. Okay. Magic and Bird loved playing basketball. Michael Jordan loved playing basketball. Isaiah Thomas loved playing basketball. Okay. Karl Malone loved playing basketball. John Stockton loved playing basketball. Charles Barkley loved playing basketball. Okay. They loved basketball. Now, Michael Jordan took it into overdrive. Okay. Now, when Jordan came in, he took his love of the game in overdrive. Okay. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant loved playing the game of basketball. He was obsessed with it. Okay. So, and he also mentioned load management. Okay. You know, there was a different type of load management in the NBA before the modern load management. In other words, weak ass bitches who can't play 3 or 4 games a week when you're playing a professional sport that's grown men. There was a type of load management, okay? It was called this. Your team is winning by 25 points with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and then you sit your starters. That's what load management was, okay? Either the winning team is up by 25 and they're sitting their starters with 8 minutes left to go in the game, or the team who is down 25 is sitting its starters for the rest of the quarter. That's what load management was back in the day. You're getting blown out. You know the other team's not coming back. You hit your starters for the rest of the game. That's load management, okay? That was NBA load management back in the day. Now, I hear these weak-ass bitches like Jaylen Brown talking about, you shouldn't play 65 games. You shouldn't require minimum 65 games. You should require a minimum number of 58 games. Bullshit, man. That's absolute bullshit. Sorry for cursing, but I just get very fired up about this stuff. Okay? And obviously Charles Barkley does too. He gets very fired up about this stuff. And that's what the NBA players are today, man. Weak ass bitches. Now, Tony Gonzalez was once asked this about football players, okay? Tony Gonzalez was asked, what % of football players do you think are really committed to the game? And Tony Gonzalez said, 1. So how many NBA players are like seriously committed to the game? maybe Steph Curry. Maybe Steph Curry. Okay. Um, maybe Kevin Durant. Um, other than that, who else? Who else? Players will players will players would rather load management, sit on the bench, and drink wine like LeBron James did a few years ago. Sit on the Lakers bench, drinking a glass of wine, getting tipsy. Okay. And like I said a few videos before, players are not committed. Most NBA players are not uncommitted, just like Charles Barkley said. They're not great players. Let's be real. They're not great players. They're not good players. They're not decent players. You got serviceable players making up $10 million a year, okay? You got players like Zion Williamson, who looks like Biggie Smalls, bringing the ball up court. Oh, bringing the ball up the court, baby, baby. You got people like that who play for the love of money, not for the love of the game. And like I said, Kobe was obsessed. MJ, obsessed. Larry, Magic, Michael, Isaiah. And I think it was safe to say after AC Green retired in 2001, there was going to be no more AC Greens. There wasn't going to be no more 100% all in focused players like AC Green did, playing in 82 games year after year after year after year after year. You're not going to see players like Mark West play 82 games for a streak of 7 straight years. Okay. And so when AC Green joined the Phoenix Suns for 1993-94, Mark West was second behind consecutive games. AC Green was first in consecutive games played, and then Mark West was second behind AC Green. Think about that. You got two players on the same team who were ranked first in consecutive games played and second in consecutive games played. That's commitment right there. That's commitment. That's commitment right there. And today's players, not committed. Not one iota. 99% of them, not committed. Barkley also said that, I know they hide behind the analytics bullshit with their agent and stuff like that. But what they're really trying to do is extend their career because, like I said, the way money's being and going, you probably are going to make another 50 or 70 million dollars and probably going forward so you can extend your career. Okay. See, it was very well accepted in the NBA back in the day. When you couldn't play, you couldn't play. You couldn't play. And when you couldn't play, you retired, okay? This is what and the NBA players were having this discussion, okay? On NBA Open Court, Kenny Smith was talking about this. He said, first of all, when you're young and you take that picture, when you're in the open court and you look back and take that picture, and you see guys like, but then when you get older and you're on the fast break and you take that picture and you see guys go like this, oh, they think that they can catch you. It's time to reach higher. Okay. So, yeah. When you couldn't play, you can play. And you got your butt up out of there. But, like I said, when you're in the sad state that the NBA is today, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay? It's the gift that keeps on giving. All right. That's it. And that's all. Throwing it back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God bless. Peace out. See y'all on the next one. I'm gone.